Okay. All right, guys, tonight we're going to be talking about inviting, and I just kind of want to cut right into it. It's one of the 4 vital behaviors. Sometimes for many of us, it can be the hardest ones to do because we want to find that bridge, that transition when we're having normal conversation with people, how to bridge it into an invite, or how to get them to, or how to make that sale, how to get that success club point, when really we have to remember it's helping people. And so we have to remember that we have solutions, and that ultimately we have to really figure out what the person's problem is. What is it that they need? So we know exactly the best approach to help solve that problem. It's not about getting a success club point. It's not about selling a challenge pack. It's about finding a solution for this person. So if it feels like we're making a sale, if it feels like icky, it's probably because it is. It's probably because you don't really know what their problem is and what they need for a solution. So we really have to turn it back on them and continue to ask more questions. That's typically where it goes for me. We have a few samples of invitations that we're going to go through. We'll dissect them a little bit. Before we do that, I just want to give you like my top 5 tips that are not original at all. They're all things we've probably heard before, but I think if it comes to a point where we're having troubles with invites, it's probably one of these 5 things, because most likely it has something to do with where we're at personally and what we might, an area that we might be able to focus on that's going to help us. The first one is having the belief. Having the belief that, yes, you can. Yes, you can be a successful coach. Believing that this is your path. Believing that you do truly have a solution for people, that Shakeology is the best shake out there. And if you don't believe that, somebody that has really helped me with that is Shay Stanford. And that's Shay, S-E-A-Y, Stanford, like the college.com. She used to be in medical sales, and she knows the science behind it. She's done a ton of research. She's been a coach for plenty of years. And if you ever have a question about Shakeology or aren't feeling confident about it, she has a great website to go to. That we have the best fitness programs, world-class fitness programs that get results. You just have to remember that we have the best that's out there. So even if you don't believe 100% in yourself, you can totally believe in Beachbody and their programs. That leads right into being proof the product works. So my history tells me when my business is doing great and when my business is not doing great, it's because I'm not being proof the product works. I am not, maybe I'm drinking my shake every day, but I'm not sharing about it, and nobody knows in my world. And that's still something that I need to work on. Nobody knows that I'm drinking Shakeology. Maybe 5% of my followers. So when I think that everybody thinks I'm drinking it and I'm posting about it and I'm being salesy about it, nobody even knows. So there's that, share about it. The other one is fitness. When I'm crushing my fitness and I'm reaching my goals, it has nothing, yes, we are helping other people reach their goals, but if we are not working on a transformation, if we are not doing a fitness program from beginning to end, sharing about the entire journey, and maybe that's every day. Maybe every day you are sharing that fitness journey, you are sharing that transformation, you're sharing the ups and downs, the highs and lows, and you have a before and after photo. When you have that transformation, it's amazing the people that see it and the people that follow up, because they want to work with somebody that's had success. We can't just work this business and be a salesperson and wheel and deal and try and help people when we're not helping ourselves. So I think it's really that transformation, having that transformation. So, I had a great transformation about 3 months ago, and it was, first of all, it was so much easier to talk to people. It was so much easier to share with people. I had something to post about, and then I had a transformation to share, and people saw it and people came to me. Now I'm not doing much because I'm in like transition. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. So I One of the things I'm working on this year with my own personal development is breaking through fear. So I'm going to do something that scares me. I'm going to do insanity, something I never thought I would do. Holy shit balls, I'm scared to death. So great. That's going to be the perfect transformation for me to share with other people because I'm working through my own fear and I know it's going to like totally crush my body because it's an insane program. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you have a transformation. It's a numbers game. How many people are you talking to? If you're not hitting your goals, you're not talking to enough people, period. And in that numbers game, you can't be afraid to hear no. So if you're sending out invites and you're like still sending with that fear that they're going to say no, or what are they going to think of you? You're not talking to enough people. And you have to believe enough. And when I say believe, you have to know your path. You have to figure out where is it that you're going in this business? Because it's true. When I was tiptoeing in the beginning, it was really, really hard. And then when it was my fourth job, it was really, really hard. As I started to let go of certain part-time jobs and I was able to invest more, it was still hard because I didn't have a team of people that I was able to lead and do this, you know? So it was like, oh, maybe I can still back out because I don't have that many people I'm working with. Maybe I can still, maybe this isn't for me. All of that belief, all of that lack of belief will hold you back. It will cripple you. It will paralyze you. If you can just go forward with the power of belief that this is what I'm doing no matter what. No plan B. This is my plan A, B, C, D, E. It's totally going to help you send the invites. It's going to help you reach out to as many people because you've made the decision that this is what you're doing. No excuses. And therefore, you're going to have no problem talking to everybody you know and don't know because you already know you have the solution for their problem. The problem is you don't know what their problem is yet because you're not talking to enough people. So if you just decide and you create your plan and you know, you have to put it on paper, you have to figure out what it is, you have to look at it and you have to say affirmations every day to get there. That's what the leaders do. That's what we do. That's that change, that mental change that says, okay, this is where I'm going no matter what. So it doesn't matter if this person says no or this person says no. Because I am going here, who's coming with me? And you're going to keep asking until you get the people that are coming with you. We don't want the people that aren't interested or dragging their tails. I'm done waiting for the people 2 years ago to like say yes. Like I'm just going to keep going. They can keep watching. And then when they're ready, they're going to join along. But I can't. So many times in the early year of my business, I was waiting. I was like, oh, but this person said they would next month. So I depended on that person for my Success Club point or whatever. And then I'm sitting here with no Success Club points because that person wasn't ready and I can't be mad at that person. I needed to really look back and see, well, that was my fault because I was depending on that person to grow my business. I can't do that. I have to keep going and work with the willing. So you just got to talk to that many people and you can't be afraid to hear no. And I think the more that you invite, the less you're going to care about hearing no. And personally, as we're doing this training right now, I want to hear more no's. I love that we're reading the book Go for No for network marketing. I'm so excited. Mine comes in tomorrow because that's where I realized that a lot of my lack of growing and getting more numbers is because I'm leaving it out there. And I'll keep following up, but I'm not following up in the right way to get that answer. So now when I get a no, I am excited. I'm like, great. Now I know, push you aside, move forward to the next person, you know? And then the fifth thing is your why. If you're not growing, your why is not making you cry. Your why is not big enough. Yes, I want to help people. Yes, I want to be financially successful, whatever. It's got to be bigger. So dig deeper and figure out what that's about. So those are my 5 things. The power of belief, and you got to know where you're going to believe it no matter what, right? You have a plan to get there. Number 2 is your transformation. You are being proof the product works. If you are once you figure out the solution for you, you've got like the magic in your hands to help other people. If you're still trying to figure out what works for you, why can't I get to this goal? Why am I not happy? Why am I not that number on the scale? Why am I, whatever that is, if you're still trying to figure that out, awesome. Stop like worrying about all the other details and systems of the business. The systems of inviting aren't going to get you there. Figure out how to solve your problem. because then you're going to have the magic to help so many other people like you solve that problem. It's a numbers game. Talk to as many people as possible. And don't be afraid of hearing no. Be glad when you get those no's, at least you have an answer. And you know you can put them on a list. Put them on your no list, because in a year, they're going to come back to you, promise. And then have a strong why. Those are the 5 things. And now, yeah, there's training, there's systems. So if you want to know where that is, you can go to your Coach Online office. You can go to How to Get Started. You can go to the Coach Basics 30 Days, and you're going to find how to build relationships. You're going to find the forming information. Family, occupation, whatever, recreation, and then message. And that guide, it literally walks you step by step on how to have that conversation. So yeah, you can always go back to those systems that Beachbody has on building relationships. Forming is the acronym, FORM, and then how to overcome objections. It literally walks you through the entire thing. In our Balance Bound Facebook coach page, scroll through the files section, you're going to find invite. And that is going to help you invite to free challenges, invite to what you're doing. There's an invite CP, that's invite to challenge pack. So that's like the purchase. That's like, ooh, the scary one, right? There's an exact script. I didn't write it. It comes from Anita Myron, then through Megan, then through me. I edited it a little bit to make it sound more like me. I literally still use that script, copy, paste. So yeah, there's systems, there's totally, don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel if you're feeling stuck on scripts. There are scripts, just reach out to your upline, for sure. I know there's even recent ones. I'm like, you liked my post, here's the script, whatever. There's an invite document too in the back office. There is an invite document. There's a 5-step invitation process in that same 30-day Coach Basics training of what you need to know and how to do it. There's a video on that 5-step process. And the one thing, so there's 2 magic things that are essential in this process that we cannot forget. The first one is a disclaimer. I don't know if this is anything that you'd ever want to do. Hey, I'm doing this. No pressure. Would you want to do this with me? That disclaimer, like letting them know, like you're still going to like them if they say no. You're not afraid if they say no. Like, hey, no big deal. This may not be up your alley at all. That disclaimer is so important. And then for me, the last thing is, do you end with a question? You have to end with a question or they will not respond 99.999% of the time. You have to make a very simple question for them to respond to. And some of them still won't respond. And that's where we get into follow-ups. So with that said, the chat box is open. If you guys can see it, great. If you can't, I'm going to read them out loud anyway. I really wish this last one would let me copy and paste. I'm going to try one last time because it's a different approach. Whoop. Computer crazy. Okay. And when it comes to invitations, if you get a response from an invitation, that is like crazy reason to celebrate, because it usually takes 6 to 7 invites and follow-ups for somebody to respond to you. So it's totally normal if you don't get responses. That one won't let me copy and paste. Okay, so I'm going to read a couple examples. Hey, thanks for liking my post. I appreciate it so much, and it gives me encouragement to continue on my path and wellness journey. I know this is crazy, but I will be hosting a free clean eating meal planning group later this month. Is that something you might be interested in? Okay, so love the thanks for liking my post. People love you to throw love at them. I love that you're saying the honesty about appreciating, and it encourages me. It tells me, you tell me that you're on this journey, which is awesome. I love that it ends in a question. And I don't want to dissect them so much that you're going to be like in your head sending these out, because I really don't want you to. But if we want to look at maybe something that we can adjust, let's see. I would say, I know this is crazy, but I will be hosting a free clean eating meal planning group later this week. Why is that so crazy? You're a coach. You've been doing it for a year. You're on a health and wellness journey. I don't think that's crazy. I think it's totally normal. I think it totally makes sense. So I think it sounds like that might have been the intention to be the disclaimer. If I'm understanding it correctly, that might have been your intention of like, hey, this might sound crazy. It might not be something you would consider doing, but I'm hosting this group. Is this something you'd want to do? So for me, it's just that one. It's not crazy. You're not crazy. It's not crazy. It's awesome. It's awesome. I've been hosting these clean eating groups and they're really helping me keep on track. I want to connect with other people that are on that same path. Is that you? Would you want to connect with that? That's just my first thought on that one. Otherwise, I think it's great. The next one, hey girl, I just wanted to reach out and see how life is going this week. I am committing to my health and fitness goals for another month, and I'm looking for people who want to journey along. I don't know if you would have any interest in at-home fitness and a new accountability group, but I thought about you and I thought I'd see. Happy weekend. Cool. So first concern is she'll never respond because there's no question. Really, I don't even see a question mark in there. I love the invite. I love that you're committed to your health and fitness goals. I think that's awesome for another month. I'm looking for people who, so it's almost like, yeah, it's that, what I was kind of saying before of like, I'm looking for people who might also be committed to their health and fitness goals so that we can partner up and support one another. I'm not sure where the interest in the at-home fitness comes in. I think it might be a little preemptive, but maybe you've had conversation with her already. Maybe it would be more like, just curious, like you look like you're on a healthy plan too. I'm assuming, because you're asking that question, if she's interested, I'm assuming you're on a healthy plan too. What do you currently do for workouts? I'm always looking to connect with other people and try new things. Yeah.
See, that one that I did copy in there, that one in particular is a little bit different than like the one I was copying, pasting to most people, because like she's done a couple of free groups with me, and she usually does the gym thing, but she's been talking about how that's been too difficult and too much drive time, and then going home and showering, getting ready for work and whatever. And so I guess I was going from that angle of, this is new for me because the mountain community, like everybody did fitness at home because there's no gyms. And so now being in the city, everyone goes to the gym because there's a gym on every corner. And so this is weird. Like, I guess I'm trying to figure out how to like, okay, we can do it at home still, even though there's a gym for $10 down the road.
Right. And you can do the workouts at the gym. I mean, right. Don't shy away from that too, because I think it's going to become more of a thing that people have their phones and their little tablets out at the gym. I do. I picture that being the case. So that's great. You just shared with me more information of like, that I think should be personal in there. Like, hey, I know you go to the gym and I saw that you're struggling, or you shared with me that you're kind of struggling. So would you consider working out at home? Would you consider like joining like an online thing? And then share how it's worked for you. Like, it personally works great for me because Zane is a monster in the best way possible, and I could never get to the gym. Like, he has to be playing right next to me while I work out, like I think it's just getting more personal. And again, I don't know the rest of that conversation, but just from what you shared with me, you shared a problem. You shared her problem, and I don't quite, it kind of seems like you're jumping around that a little bit.
Well, yeah, I totally, like, that's my issue, is I have a hard time because I like skirt around all the issues. And so I'm like trying to figure out how to be direct, but that's where the struggle is in being direct and like inviting them to it. Like the whole go for no thing is just like, I'd rather you do my free group than say no. And so learning and reading that book is really good for me. Yeah.
Great for you is pushing you to really try invites in so many different ways. So that's awesome. And yeah, I would say you can totally be direct, but we know that the journey, and I don't have all the answers, so don't listen to me like I have all the answers. I don't. But getting to the emotional side is great. Getting to the problem is great. So if you know she has this problem and she shared it, whether it's with you or on social media, that's your connection. You have a solution for her problem. Hey, I can totally relate to your post yesterday about having a hard time getting to the gym. I realized it just wasn't happening, but I still wanted to like reach my goals. And so I'm so glad that somebody shared this on demand with me. Like, have you ever heard of it? It's making that connection between their problem, and you being able to relate to it, and then you having a solution to it. So my only thought is like, maybe this would be a little shorter and like it would end with a question. So it would continue the conversation. Mm-hmm. And there's no reason you can't go back to her either. There's no reason you can't follow up with this message after however many days that you feel like, if you feel in your heart you have a solution for her, you have to reach out to her and you have to let her know. So I think it's being more direct with, I don't see her problem in here. And I think that's what you have to spell out. And then the connection of, well, why is she going to come to you? Well, it's because you had that same problem.
Makes sense. That's good. Okay.
PSSS. Okay. So this tells me that there is a information in personal messaging before. Thanks for the like. So this similar response. Thanks for the like on my insanity post. I'm scared to all hell. So do it, right? LOL. That's what I'm learning in program. Want to join me? We can support one another. No pressure, whenever you are ready, but can certainly use all the support I can get. This one is going to be a hard one for me. And no, you don't have to do insanity. We can figure out what's best for you. What do you say? Want to join me? So yeah. So I personally know that this is somebody that has come to me and said they want to talk about working with me. And it's been 2.5 months now. I've sent messages every 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. And they have told me in person, eye to eye, they want to talk to me about it. I know they're traveling and they're on the road and they probably think that they can't do something while they're traveling for work. So that will be my next approach. But they liked my post. So they're following, they're interested, and they want to do it. They're just scared they're going to fail. I know that that's what it comes down to. So, and again, I'm not saying this is the best answer. I didn't get a response yet. I sent it last night. I haven't gotten a response yet, Another one. How was your weekend? Did you have a chance to think about if you were ready to join us for some fitness and nutrition support? So this is somebody that, again, I had an in-person conversation with that was interested, not sure when they were ready. I sent along my invite to our 21-day group that starts on the 20th. If you are ready and want to connect on your goals, I am here for you. And then I sent the link. I leave for Mexico Tuesday night. Do you have a chance to connect before then? So it just lets them, it gives that sense of urgency. It's really casual. If you're ready, when you're ready, I'm here, because I don't have to pressure everybody I talk to, because I'm talking to so many people that it doesn't matter if this is my 2 Success Club point this month. And that for me is what's changed from year 1 to year 2, is that if I'm talking to enough people, I can totally put the disclaimer, I can put the no pressure, because I'm not depending on that person. And I think that that's helped me a lot. But yeah, I mean, I haven't, again, this isn't somebody I've heard from, but it's just following up as promised. Last one. I know you talked briefly about this last year and cutting sugary drinks from your lifestyle. Can you tell me what your overall health and fitness goals are? What would you like to achieve? The more you share, the better I can help. Okay. So when you say, I know you talked briefly about this last year, it makes it seem like you haven't talked in at least 3+ months.
No, like with that one in particular, like it was last year. I think I just didn't word it very good probably, but that or the context is funny. But last year, that was her goal, was to cut like her diet sodas and stuff out of her lifestyle and stopping at Starbucks and Sonic all the time. So that was her goals for last year. And so I guess we were just trying to transition into this year.
Great. And so when's the last time you talked to her? When did this message come out? When was the last time before this message?
Well, I saw her face to face, like it was probably a month ago when we first talked about it. And then I talked to her on Friday about this. And then she had responded like saying, hey, I would be interested. And so this was my attempt at trying to figure out like what her goals were. And then I talked to her face to face on Sunday a little bit about it. So,
okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Right. So it's hard to know, like in the context. If I was just dissecting this, I wouldn't feel like you had just talked to her 3 times. Because you are going back to 6 months ago. So I guess my first thought would have been, this was maybe a message after a long time. And it would have been, my first question would have been like, hey, I know you talked last year about wanting to cut out sugary drinks and not going to the fast food and Sonic and Starbucks. How's that going for you? That's my first question. And maybe you did this, right? So we're just having this conversation because maybe there's going to be other people watching this call. So that would have been my first conversation. Like, hey, this is what you said you were going to do. How are you doing with that? And it's an easy question for them to answer. Oh, I'm doing great. Or, oh my God, I'm a total fail. Like I need help, And then I feel like, the response to that, because it sounds like you're talking to her now, she's interested. So maybe she needs the support. So, hey, it's so great to connect with you again. Love to have you join me. Can you tell me more about your overall health, what your overall health and fitness goals are? What you would like to achieve. This is great. What you would like to achieve, the more you share, the better I can help. The more you share, the better I can give you recommendations. That's all great. That's all great. I think for me, it just seemed like 2 separate conversations, but it might make sense because you talked to her in person.
Well, I think that's why, I don't know, my jumbled mess of conversation to you last night too is just I have a hard time making that transition. And it's like, it's really easy for me to invite them to a free group, but trying to get them to understand that there's more to it. And like, I've seen success and that they could have more success if we jump in on Shakeology or we jump in on a fitness program instead of just like, let's do better and start with a free clean eating menu,
Right. So, and I know that you've been also struggling a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe you can just share a little briefly again for somebody that might be on this call, because it is really hard to share a solution that you might not have found. Like, I know when 21 Day Ultimate Reset comes up, you're like, love that program, like totally helped me out, like XYZ, like you can stand behind that. And that may be something you should start leading with, my dear. Maybe you are, but you should be inviting to that. But I know Shakeology for you has kind of been back and forth with you trying to figure out, like, does it fit with your, diabetes and what your goals are? So it might be, I could be wrong, but it might be that like, I haven't quite figured out the solution for myself with it to be able to share that with other people.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely hit the nail on the head with that, because it is just like one of those where I've been playing so much with my own diet and playing so much with like how to figure this out that I feel like I kind of just flounder. So then I flounder in my conversations with other people. And so that's, I don't know, I think we're finally getting back on track and figuring out what this can look like for me and for us as a family, because what I wanted to do and what I thought I needed to do, I'm learning are different than what needs to happen, obviously. And so like we've done it, we've been on Shakeology for 1.5 years now. We've done these things. And I know that those months that we do it are awesome. And I know that the months that I try to do it other ways, it's more difficult. And like, but that's just part of my story now to share too. So,
right.
Yeah.
Which is great. And I'm seeing that from a lot of like my challengers too. The ones that are having success are the ones that are going all in, that are committing, that are drinking the shakes every day. The ones that are not having the success are the ones that are telling themselves, I can't afford it, or I'm not worth it, or life is happening and I'm putting everything else before it. Those are the ones that are not having success. And I think at the deep seat of it, it's afraid of failure. And so they're afraid to invest in themselves. And so they're drinking their shake every other day, or they're ordering it every other month. And you're wondering why a year later you haven't hit your goals. Well, now you've invested $600+ and you haven't gone anywhere in your goals. Where if you just invested for the year, you'd be at your goals. You know, so I think that's a great story to be able to share with people because you have that experience. That's huge because a lot of people are going to share that. And if you can teach them through your experience, that's going to be that much more powerful. And again, I know it's so challenging for you, but I challenge you to find what works for you, because I know you're going to connect with people that share the same struggle that you do, that I can't relate to, that you're going to be able to connect with on such a deeper level. When I am in the groups of like my people and I'm meeting strangers and creating a building from my cold market with strangers in my niche, there's an instant connection. There's an instant trust. There's an instant like understanding. And so it happens. I mean, I literally friended somebody yesterday and I went onto her page and she just posted that she lost 20 pounds. I was like, well, it was really easy to get into that conversation. It wasn't awkward at all. It was just a, hey, I saw, congrats, you lost 20 pounds. How'd you do it? I mean, it literally happened that fast. So it's just connecting with them. I think that that's maybe that little piece that you're missing is that is connecting with them and then relating your experience to them somehow. I did think of something when you were sharing, how you were sharing about, it's easier to invite to the free groups. And maybe it's because you feel, I could be wrong, but usually if we have a hard time inviting to, like, let's say the $199 all access pass, is because we see $199 as a lot of money. Maybe. So if you think it's a lot of money, it's going to be really hard to convince somebody it's not, right? Because your free group, it's so easy to invite to. Well, we have to imagine that the 21-day group is just as easy to invite to because it is a crazy deal. And you know that. I know you know that. And it's probably just because when time goes by that we start to feel more like, well, maybe it's me, or maybe it's too much, or maybe it's not. It's not. You just have to talk to more people, and you have to talk confidently that you have the solution, and you probably don't know what their problem is yet. And know that it has nothing to do with you. It really doesn't. It has to do with when they're ready. It has to do with when they're ready. I was talking to somebody just now. I just sent them the link to order. And again, it was that belief. It was that I don't need you. It was that when you're ready, that disclaimer. And it literally happens. Like, it's crazy. It's like the power of the universe. I believe in it. It truly happens when we let go of like that, I can't, or I need, when we can truly let go and have that plan, know where you're going, believe you're going, and talk to enough people, it will happen. Because this person was like, oh, they didn't know if they were going to do shakes. They just want to do on demand. I was planning on just getting them to do the on demand. I wasn't even going to push the shakes. I didn't want to push the relationship, and I wanted them to feel it out, and I don't need to depend on them. And then I was like, hey, have you ever considered adding a protein? It's a guy. So sometimes when it's a guy, I call it a protein shake. Okay. Face it. It's not a protein shake. When I'm talking to dudes, I call it a protein shake when they're dealing with workouts. Right. So I'm like, hey, have you ever considered doing a protein? Do you do a protein shake right now? Here's an awesome, he's telling me he doesn't have time to eat. He needs more calories. Great. It's not a weight loss shake. It's a protein shake with extra calories that you can drink, and you're going to get those calories that you're not eating during lunch. That's true. So I just sent it casually, and I sent in the link to check it out. Didn't say anything, but I said, hey, well, just so you know, if you've ever considered adding a protein shake, when you sign up for the on-demand, it'll save you $30. So if you're considering it, this is the time to do it. No worries though. No pressure. He sent me a message this morning. It said, hey, I'm really looking into it, but is there do I have to do it now, or can I take advantage of that 30-day free trial? Because that's what we initially talked about. And I was like, yeah, you can totally do the 30-day free trial. In the past, my first year, Taylor, I would have been like, it's really great. It's deadlines, the month. You got to do it now, But now I'm just like, Yeah, do the 30-day free trial. You know, I messaged him this morning. Yes, you can absolutely do the 30-day free trial. Like, give it a shot. If you want, like, maybe you want to order the Shakeology sampler, or I have some samples I could give you, and you can see if you like Shakeology, so you know when you want to commit to the year, you know, you have Shakeology. Like, I sent like a super quick message. Well, I was sitting at Starbucks and I realized my Wi-Fi stopped. I didn't realize that message never went through. It never even went through. I got a message later tonight. I've been looking at everything. Yeah, I want to go forward with the all access and Shakeology. It's literally not in my control. I have half dozen stories in the last 2 months that have happened like that, because I'm putting it on them. I'm letting them know the solution is there, and I'm waiting till they're ready. He's ready. He told me in December he wanted to do it. I followed up. Cricket. He reached out to me and he said, I'm done with excuses. I'm ready. So it had nothing to do with me. It was nothing I said. It was not the invitation. It wasn't my wording. It wasn't my system. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It's when they're ready. But yeah, if you could just be confident about the solution you have. I think it's confidence. I think it's belief. And then I think it's connecting with that person. I was able to connect with him. He wants to do P90X3. I can connect to that. I've done that program. It's fucking awesome. He came to me and he said, I'm done with excuses. I went online. I found a P90X3 on YouTube and did the program. My first year self would have been like, I'm done. He's going to do the whole program on YouTube. I'm done. There goes that sale. Like, none of that's true. But that's what I was living in year one. That lack of belief, that fear that I can't do it, that fear that they're going to go somewhere else, that fear that I'm going to do something wrong. Once I was able to let that go, things changed. That's all I can share. That's my experience, you know? It's nothing I'm doing, really.
No, I mean, that's awesome though. And it is super helpful, because at least sitting on my side of things right now, having lost so many coaches and other customers and stuff at this point, and I guess I sit there and you kind of just, okay, what was I doing so wrong? Or where did all of this? And so much of it is just boldness and my security in myself and doing that. And I know that that does stem from just everything I've had going on the last year or 2 years here, and trying to find confidence in it working in myself again, because, you know, what I thought worked so well and I was so gung-ho about, it was like, oh, actually you're sick and your body's eating itself, so that really wasn't why. You know, and so it's like that whole mind game too of now trying to get going again, and then also just now getting back on my own journey to where it's like, okay, like we can still do this. Like,
yeah.
So
yeah. And I think, you know, because I know you so well, I know your story, and I know you can totally do this. It's what's up here that stops us. I know it because I was there. I think it's, you know, you do also know that you have not been consistent. You have not gone all in. You have not reached out to all these people, so you know that you can do more, and you have been doing it. You have been showing up, so that's going to change. And yeah, I would say the number one focus is to find that solution for you. Find that transformation, and build yourself up with the power of belief in whatever personal development that is. I think that's your primary focus. Get your workout done. It's like going back to the vitals. Don't overthink the systems. And for me, I know that I am most excited to share and connect with people and help people. And I believe in the solution when I hop on Facebook after I've done the workout, after I've just sweated my ass off. And I'm like, that is a fucking killer ass program. I got to tell these people about it, and do it with confidence. Don't make a huge long message. Don't overdo it. And some people, it's leaving a voice message. Some people, it's sending a video message. You know, if it's somebody that you really believe, like, don't be afraid to just hop on. I mean, on my Mac, like there's just a place where like a photo booth that I can create a video and I can send it through G Drive, and I can just hop on for 3 minutes and be like, hey girl, like I miss you. Like, how are you? I just have to connect with you. And, let them hear you, see you, feel you. I remember at one point in my coaching business, I was doing, hey, we haven't been in touch for a while, or maybe we have, or I don't know if you've seen what I've been doing, but this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. I am looking for kick-ass women like you who are interested in doing this. Have you ever considered doing this? Because I think you'd be great at this for XYZ. And I am looking for these 5 attributes that are so complementary that they're going to be complimented no matter what. Even if they say no, they're gonna be like, wow, she thought of me. She thinks this, and this of me. Like, don't be afraid to reach out and do that message, like, this is where I'm going. I would love to lock arms with you and go there with you. So there's definitely there's so many different versions. You just have to follow your heart. And if you truly believe that you have the solution for them, and you truly believe that this business is the opportunity for them, you can't get caught up, because I've been there. You get caught up in this like, oh, but I've been doing this for over a year and I haven't had any success with it and I haven't made it. How am I? Girl, been there, done that, been there. Easier said than done, because I know it's so hard to like pick yourself out of this like hole that you might feel like you're in, but consider it a fresh start. Consider you're just starting today. Like, yeah, you love Beachbody products, so you've got that going for you. You've already got that belief going for you. But this is the first time in maybe your second week that I've known you where I've seen you consistent. For 2 weeks, I've seen you make a decision, a commitment, like a true fire under your ass. I've got the support of my husband. Like, I'm getting up early. I'm staying up late. Like, I'm in this group. There's no reason you can't hit diamond by May 25th or whatever that is. There's no reason you can't. You have to believe you can, and you have to give your all. You have to talk to everybody you know and don't know, because you can. So you're starting fresh. You have no reason to say I haven't made any money, because you haven't done it. Right? So start with the fresh confidence. I don't know. That's it.
Yep, that's what I like at the beginning of the month when we started that diamond group and stuff. I was just like, it doesn't matter what's happened. It doesn't matter what's going to happen. Like, you've just got to go. But so now it's just like, I feel like I'm trying to relearn. Like, my inviting sucked to begin with, and that's why I never was consistent, and I'd had so much self-doubt and all these other things and every other reason you've listed off tonight. But it's a new day and it's a new time to do it. And so then I just got to quit letting myself get so wrapped up and like, but I've got to get 5 Success Club points this month, or I get like, I can't do it,
Yeah. I mean, that, has to be a non-negotiable, but that's just because you have to talk to more people, and you can't depend on that person that says maybe as one of your points. And I totally get it. You're like, I'm so close. Talk to so many people that you don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to so many people you don't care, and go confidently. The reason why you can be confident about your 21-day group is because Shakeology is the solution. And even if you are waiting to figure that out for yourself, believe me, it changed my life. And I was not. You're like, you have education in nutrition, right? I do not. Okay. I knew nothing about nutrition. I wasn't eating clean. I was a dancer and I was not eating clean. I didn't even know I wasn't eating healthy. This has totally changed my life, and it is totally worth $3.85 or whatever it is. It's crazy. So just go with that confidence that it is the solution for a lot of people. And until then, you figure out the solution for you. And I promise you, as soon as you figure out the solution for you, everything's going to change. Everything's going to change for you. So put all your focus into that, and then talking to as many people as you can, and invite them to the business opportunity. The call that was by Janelle Summers. Oh, you know what? That might have been in another page. I'm going to share that in our team page. It's about inviting to the coaching opportunity, and that is the best thing we have to offer people. And I believe it, because I would not be here today as a challenger. I would not be my healthiest self with personal development, with growth in all areas of my life if I wasn't coaching other people. So if people really want to stay on track, if you're finding people like John that can't fucking stay on track, that says he wants to do all these great things, tell him to talk to me. Because the only reason why I am here today is because I'm a coach. If he really wants to hit his goals, he needs to lead other people, period. So I'm going to share that call with you too. Just watch it when you're driving, watch it when you have time. Right now, you need to focus on inviting. Mm-hmm. So if you've got 30 minutes, go invite with the confidence. Go reach out. I want you to message me that you just invited 10 people.
I'll do it.
Okay.
We'll get the kiddo in bed. Make it happen.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. You got it. Bye, hon.